I was in grade 7. Okay, why grade 7 at 11? Because go on patlele woman. Was not crash gonna go. So when you are 4, whatever, and you can count to 10, they sent you to school. Right? So your mother has less problems, to worry about. That's how it was. You understand? That's my upbringing. And I was child number 6 in a family of 9. So my mother had done enough already by the time I was born. She still had 3 more children to go, so she wanted to get us out of the system as much as possible. So send you to school. That's what we did. There was nothing special about starting school at 4 in my village. It was normal. And if you were like me and you passed and never failed, you would get to matric at 16. Very normal. So at 11, I'm in grade 7, and we are made to recite a poem of sorts. It wasn't really a poem, it was a speech coming out of a book. The book was called Julius Caesar. It was a play written by a man called William Shakespeare. Now there are stories about whether he really wrote those books. I don't know. But we recited this poem, Mark Antony's funeral speech. So Mark Antony was a character in a play. Now, to those who don't know who Mark Antony was, Julius Caesar was the emperor of Rome, and he had been assassinated by his friends, Brutus, Cassius, Cinna, and they had killed him out of jealousy. And guess what they called him, actually? Ambitious. They said, this guy is too ambitious. Let's kill him. He's too ambitious for Rome. So they kill him. They conspire to kill him, and they go to the people of Rome as senators, and they say, imagine your MPs now coming to Makulon Stadium to tell you, we had to kill your premier because he was too ambitious. They tell you that. You believe them. I get it, they are your senators, they are your MPs. Just as they are about to finish, they had accepted. So listen to this. Imagine people coming to you and saying, we killed your premier or we killed your president because he was too ambitious. They are not hiding it. So they did an honorable thing. Right? Otherwise, they are honorable people. They come to you and say, we did it because he was ambitious. We got him out of the way. And you say, okay, it's okay. He was a great guy in other ways. But if he was too ambitious, honorable people, we believe you. Then Mark Antony, who was the friend of Caesar, comes to the funeral and says, senators, please, could I say a few words in honor of my friend? Brutus looks at this chap and he says, can you trust him? Cassius says, he's useless, man. It's a done deal. Let him speak. More like EFF coming up. Forget it. What can he do? All right? Mark Antony stands up. So he's a diplomatic person. So he says, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I've come here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. And then he says, yeah, because you know what? The evil that men do continues to live after they are gone. But the good they did gets buried with their bones. So please, let's bury all the good things that Caesar did with his bones today. Let's forget it. Let's remember the evil that he did. You see what he's doing? He's playing the audience. Exactly. Remember, the honorable people said he was bad, he had to be killed. So he says he was good in his ways, but because in normal life, when somebody good dies, we bury the good with their bones, we remember the bad things. Let's do that with Caesar. I'm not using the real words, because the words were very big. So people like us at 11 got very impressed by this speech. Remember, there was no TV in my village. So the only thing we had was radio. So sound was a very powerful thing. Words were very powerful. And big English words even more powerful. So we memorized the speech. And when we stood there in front of the people, we felt like we were little Mark Antonys. And we imagined these were the Romans. But the speech ends on a very funny note, because at the end, Mark Antony weaves his plot into the speech until he changes the minds of the Romans that actually Caesar should not have been killed. And by the time he was done with his speech, the honorable members now became the villains. And the very people of Rome who had accepted that Caesar should have been killed went against them and killed them. So he got his revenge. You understand? Powerful speech. So I sat there as this young rural boy. And my job was very simple. Go to school, pass your assignments, homework, do that. Come back with in the morning, go to the river, get water, fill the drum at home, and then go. Christmas Day, you were either looking after animals or you were looking after your fields, right? I get inspired by this. I'm going to tell you about my dream. 1979. Obviously, most of you were concepts. So your parents were thinking, if I could have a son, or a daughter. So you were a concept. Design concept. They had not even started acting on making you. They were just thinking. Right? I think I'll have 2 beautiful kids. One will be a boy, one will be a girl, Yeah. So you were concepts. So I'm dreaming about this. I'm saying, Julius Caesar, man, this Mark Antony sounds like a charming fella, eh? So I decide on that day. I say, you know what? I'm going to be a little Mark Antony. I'm going to be Mark Antony. I'm going to be a powerful speaker. I'm dreaming. My village is called Zonernam. The Mawuru, they couldn't give it a nickname, Zonernam. No name brand. So I'm dreaming of being a Mark Antony. Luckily, when you dream, Wolfgang Goethe said, in a moment of commitment, the universe conspires to help you. So I'm dreaming and I'm committed to this thing. I want to be a good speaker. Now the world conspires to help me. How? In 1981, somebody comes to show us a movie. Now listen. Remember, this is a white person. I'm watching a movie. I'm saying, this is not an inspiring speech. My idea of Mark Antony was a spirited speaker, but I'm looking at this white guy speaking there like, oh, friends, Romans, kind of. I said, I don't want to be like, I want to be better than him. So this is now me at 13. I say, listen, Mark Antony was actually not a good speaker. I'm going to be a better speaker. But listen to the world conspiring to help my dream. My school is a school that has extramural activities, and one of them is debating. And I'm not an athletic person, so I'm not good at sports. They put me on a track with 7 people, I came out number 6. And that's because number 7 was a guy everybody. Very Mr. Oshkosh, really. You understand? So I come out number 7 and I say to my teachers, we can waste time on me or I can do what I'm good at, which is debating. So I went out to win every debate, and I did. So I became a really good, ambitious young man at 13 representing his school. They had to make a stage because I was small, right? And then I go to another school when I turn 14 because the school went up to grade 10. They said, no, we're going to have grade 11 stay. My father says, no, but we standard 11. Go to another school. I go to another school which was even better. You understand? So I become a public speaker of note, very respected. Berga loser, ball or losing, debate came in the evening. We knew we were going to whip you come debating time. And who was going to make sure it happens? You understand? I was competing not against the people I'm debating, I was competing with my own teammates. Beginning Lewis Hamilton. It was not about just beating the team, it was about beating my teammates. Because I was Mark Antony, my speech was always going to be the best. I passed matric at 16, I go to varsity. That's the 80s when the state of emergency was ruling. And what did the time call for? I'm telling you about the world conspiring to help your dream. Suddenly it's political, we are making political speeches, we want to liberate the country. They are looking for class reps, they are looking for SRCs, they are looking for this and for that. Guess who's going to be on the SRC? So what am I doing while I am trying to change? I had even forgotten about it, but the world remembered because I committed back then, and what did I do? I acted on it, and I got coaching. This is the same varsity where Premier David Makura went to, where Busisiwe Mkhwebane went to. Public protector, right? Relatively unknown, but we were good. So my point is this. I become a teacher and I join a union. So I've made so many public speeches that if you know about the 10,000 hour rule, that if you're going to be good at something, you must do it for 10,000 hours. I had done my 10,000 hours by the time in 1996 I did my first community radio station assignment. So today, Agiago Power Gira, I'm speaking. I'm doing something I've practiced since 1981. When I'm speaking to you here, I'm doing something that I know. That's why I have the guts to do it. That's why people will pay for it. Because I've done my 10,000 hours. So the dream was crazy. I didn't know where it came from. The times were suitable if I was willing to get up from my sleep and act. The teachers were there to coach me on how to be a good public speaker. And there was not enough television to distract us, so we didn't have a lot of social media. So we had to earn our respect doing certain things in real life. And the political situation was challenging us to speak up. But still, I didn't get killed in a riot, because then I would have died and you wouldn't know me. So when they say, when Wolfgang Goethe says, when you are committed to something, the world conspires to help you. But you must be committed, like a pig when it commits to bacon. It dies for it. It doesn't speak commitment, it gives itself. Dreams are the wings of your mind. You can fly anytime. And when you dream, people are going to call you names. You can choose to downgrade when they do, or you can choose to upgrade. And once you have decided to upgrade, you must get up and act, because the dream is not going to come to you. And once you've decided to act, be smart about it. Find a mentor, somebody who cares about you enough to help you and who knows how to guide you. But you must be consistent and consistent and keep on doing and keep on moving. And anything else that doesn't help your dream, decide to be deaf to it. Because everybody loves the winner, man. Everybody loves the winner. When you win, everybody's going to say, "Kwa Tembisa, kya Tembisa uti." Mara go Sun City or go Boxburg prison, nobody's going to say Kwa Tembisa. But you win first. Wait for Niekerk must win first. Suddenly everybody knows his granny, the coach. LeBron James must become the MVP first. Then everybody wants him. I don't know if you know this, but there's a man called Michael Jordan. Even if you don't love basketball, you know Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the owner now of a club called Charlotte Hornets. He stopped playing basketball in 2004 after he had won 6 championships. And when he did it, he won them 3 in a row. Retired, tried to play baseball because his father was a baseball player. Failed at baseball, came back to basketball, won 3 championships in a row again. And then when he finally retired, Nike had decided to create a label after him, because his nickname was His Royal Airness. Because there was this belief that Michael Jordan could jump up into the air, and when he's up there, jump again. That's just how he looked. For a guy who was 1.98, he was out jumping people much taller than him. The Nike, the Air brand, the Jordan brand that you wear, listen to this. I'm giving you the numbers now. It's a brand near Nike. when you have achieved enough, Nike decides they want to make something and name it after you. So when you buy it, you're not saying I'm buying a Nike Jordan. You say I buy a Jordan. But here's the funny thing. Jordan stopped playing in 2004. In 2014, 10 years later, do you know how much in royalties from the sales of Jordan he made? This is where Nigerians say you count till your jaw breaks. He made in 1 year, this is 10 years after he had stopped playing. 10 years. From the sales of the brand which were created when he was a good player, he made $100 million. Count it. O tlo thoma go Clayville kwa o fitlha ka kwa go Ivory Park o tla bo paka di 10 rand the sone o ka build a mansion e got that money. He doesn't have to get up and work. It's endorsements. It's endorsements from when he was a player. Now let me tell you a funny story about making a decision. When he was at college, he wanted to wear Adidas. And somebody at Adidas looked at him and said, this chap, you know, he won't make a big basketball player. He was they were low focusing on Larry Bird and the taller guys. So they passed him up. What's my point? Even when you are dreaming, people are going to look at you. Even when you're good, somebody's going to look at you and say, he won't really be good. Why would Nike give Michael Jordan $100 million, by the way? Does anybody know? No. Because they made $100 billion. Why do you think Nike will sponsor you? Because they like you? No. Because they know how the Sundowns will go Champions League. That stadium, one stadium is yellow. Nike is smiling. So they can give Sundowns $20 million for free. But Ziborle, not the fan. You're gonna buy those jerseys. See, you've got to understand how things work. When I say get people who know. So it's not because they are nice people. They know what everybody feels like a Michael Jordan. Even the guys who are not fit feel like Jordan. Jordan, you can't even jump over this table here. How are you going to be? No. It's okay. I'm a Jordan. Now you do the same for Messi. You do the same for Jordan. That's why we sign a lifetime contract with Cristiano Ronaldo. Because they know every man wants to be a Cristiano with a six-pack. You know how Kora Cristiano, he pulls up his shirt. Check out my six-pack. Guess what? Nike knows everybody's going to want a Ronaldo shirt, even if they hate him. And that's how they make money. So, folks, understand how the world works. Then you play. Otherwise, you are being played. You might think you're a player, but player, you're being played. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Victor. Once again, our stories have changed. Now we know that dreams are the wings of your mind. And I encourage all of us that, you know what? Don't just have 2 wings. How about 1 billion wings that they connect and make sure that you get to your destiny?